efforts to resolve the trade tensions. From India's point of view, it would mean that some kind of via media is reached with regard to Russian oil purchases, with regard to tariffs, and other elements which are under discussion with the US. I think we would like some accommodation of Indian concerns, and that it should not be a one-way agreement, but should bring benefit to both sides. So those discussions are going on, and hopefully there have been some, slightly more optimistic statements on this from both sides. So perhaps some progress has been made, and I think we have to wait and watch. But the signals we've been getting from institutional Washington right from the beginning is that they would like the partnership to continue, and there's continuity in approach. So you had the 2+2 meeting,
yes,
of the defense secretaries and the foreign secretary.
Yes.
You've had other military exercises in which both countries have participated. The US has participated in Indian exercises. Indian military has participated in US exercises of Alaska. So the signals that we were getting were that there is a desire to have continuity in the relationship, in other aspects of the relationship.
All right.
Now, the point is that for India, as I said, the kind of statements which were originating from Washington, they were pretty aggressive and not very accommodating. So despite these signals, there was concern here whether the relationship could go off the rails or there would be some, pullback.
And I think that's the single biggest takeaway. Yeah.
And that's the signal we get from this, renewal of the Defense Framework Agreement.
All right, Ambassador Shankar, thanks so much for speaking to us and really highlighting that the Trump administration is now ensuring that trade is not likely to dominate the entire relationship, which has so many aspects and so many strategic layers to it. Thanks much, Ambassador Shankar, for speaking to me on India Sense. All right, turning attention now to the other story that we are tracking on the show this week. US President Donald Trump is vying for a Nobel Peace Prize, viewers. He wants to be remembered as the peace president, one who ended so many wars. But his announcement of possible testing of nuclear weapons has stunned the world, because Donald Trump has said that America will start testing its nuclear weapons. Now, how will that happen? Nobody knows. America hasn't conducted nuclear test explosions since 1992. There isn't any clarity whether Donald Trump is going to do that or not. But the fact that a peace president is trying to probably stir up the nuclear arms race is the biggest story that the world is waiting for. And this report tells you all you need to know about it.
These defining images of nuclear testing are of Operation Julian. On September 23, 1992, the United States conducted its last nuclear test, codenamed Divider, at an underground facility in Nevada. The world will soon see a repeat of nuclear tests by the United States. US President Donald Trump made his intentions more than clear.
But we have more than anybody. But I see them testing. I say, well, if they're going to test, I guess we have to test. I'd like to see a denuclearization, because we have so many, and Russia has so many. Russia's second and China's third.
Defense analysts say a move like this would mark a dramatic policy shift.
Experts warn that if America restarts its test, it could see China and Russia follow suit. Now, that's not to say that there hasn't been some push by Moscow over nuclear weapons. They have been threatening nuclear weapons use as their war in Ukraine has dragged on. And Moscow also has tested a nuclear-powered cruise missile in recent days as well.
Within hours, Russia issued a stark warning. Moscow would respond in kind if the US crosses this red line.
Президента Путина, который неоднократно повторялось, что, конечно же, если кто-то отойдет от моратория, то Россия будет действовать соответственно.
The renewed talk of nuclear testing harks back to the anxieties of the Cold War, when superpowers conducted hundreds of tests and the world anxiously watched every move. As world powers ramp up rhetoric and ready responses, the chilling memories of the nuclear standoff seem closer than ever. Bureau Report, NDTV.
Now, viewers, India has one of the most volatile neighborhoods in the world. We have two nuclear-armed countries, Pakistan and China, and these directives will impact India. On one end, this kind of strong deterrence against China's expanding nuclear and missile program will help India. But at the same time, it will probably be a green signal for Pakistan, which is a long-time security ally of America. It will perceive this as validation for upgrading its own nuclear arsenal. It will heighten regional instability. And let's not forget, Asim Munir is a failed field marshal. And Donald Trump's nuclear call may push him even more. After all, he's had two back-to-back failures. Operation Sindoor, followed by Afghanistan, where it's been failed talks. Will this be a call for Asim Munir to push up as far as the nuclear button is concerned? Remains to be seen. On that note, a quick break. We return with more on the other side. Stay with us.
Since I retired, I've finally got time for the important stuff, like helping my family manage financially if anything happens to me. Which reminds me.
Welcome to British Seniors, the UK's #1 rated provider of over 50s life insurance.
Hi, I'd like a quick quote, please.
We're proud to offer our seniors lifetime guarantee. With 100% of claims having been paid, we guarantee your premiums will never go up and that you'll speak to one of our specialists in the UK. UK residents aged 50 to 80 are guaranteed to be accepted. Depending on your age, your loved ones can get a cash payout up to £10,000.
And that money could help with my funeral costs, or as a gift for my granddaughter. I'll do it.
Plus, when you sign up, you'll receive a £135 gift card and free 24/7 GP advice and health services.
Be proud to protect your loved ones with British Seniors. To get a free quote today, call our UK team on 0800 977 6843 or visit britishseniors.co.uk.
I'm going to take a look at the back of your eye.
You can keep your eyes nice and wide. You'll be registered as sight impaired.
I help you.
When they diagnosed Remy, I remember asking, how am I going to create a life for her that she deserves?
I was just telling everybody else I was okay, and I just didn't know how to cope with it.
Initially, I felt really lost.
So if you...
That's when I contacted the RNIB.
Thank you, sir.
More than ever, I just feel seen and heard as a visually impaired person.
Remy deserves to do the same things as all the other children.
Sometimes you just need someone to guide you through it all.
Losing your sight shouldn't mean losing out on life. Leave a gift in your will to RNIB and help people with sight loss live the lives they want. Call 0800 8100 660 or search RNIB Will Guide.
Tina's smart. She uses Wise to send and spend money overseas. Tina's gone. Whether she's sending money overseas or paying with the Wise travel card abroad, she could save up to 70% compared to using major banks. Join Tina and 14 million people worldwide who found a smart way to send and spend money overseas. Be smart. Get Wise.
It was so painful to watch. I sat there and I held her hand. She just went. Though people don't like to talk about it, but we're getting older, it has to be done.
Yeah, you got to have that conversation about wills.
Start to think about, well, what would I do? Where would I want to leave things?
Give more end-of-life care. Search Marie Curie Will Talk to get your free will guide.
Welcome back. You're watching India Ascends. We now take a look at what's happening in our neighborhood. 54 years after a very bloody, messy separation, Pakistan and Bangladesh are suddenly calling each other partners. Islamabad's generals are back in Dhaka. And it's the first time in 2 decades that they are now pledging defense drills, training, and even intelligence sharing. The second highest ranking Pakistani general was on Bangladeshi soil. There are murmurs that there could possibly be even an ISI cell inside its Dhaka mission, part of a deal that gives Pakistan eyes on India's eastern flank. But as Dhaka and Islamabad cozy up, New Delhi is not just taking notice, but it is also taking steps where it hurts the most, and that is trade. Bangladesh's economy is teetering on the edge, and now trade is becoming the key battlefront in this South Asian power play. This report tells you.
Bangladesh's economic, social and democratic slide has been swift and rapid, and the descent has come with sharp warning signals. A possible military collaboration between Bangladesh and Pakistan. And now, greater economic cooperation after a gap of 2 decades. India's response to these developments has been calculated, measured and effective. To hit where it hurts the most, India cancelled key Dhaka trade transits and blocked all land routes for jute shipments, requiring imports to pass via the sea route, increasing its costs and making them unviable. Decision to restrict land ports has hit $770 million worth of Bangladeshi goods. Sensing an economic opportunity, Pakistan has offered its Karachi port to Bangladesh, except that the offer doesn't solve Bangladesh's trade woes. With 2,600 nautical miles journey requiring 2 weeks to complete, the Pakistani proposal is nothing but optics, and explains why limited maritime activity has taken place between Bangladesh and Pakistan despite a Pakistani cargo ship docking at Chittagong port months ago. The meeting of the Joint Economic Commission between Bangladesh and Pakistan in Dhaka signals a clear shift, that trade is another frontier where battle lines are now being drawn.
Viewers, as Bangladesh cozies up to Pakistan, it's also opening its arms to Zakir Naik, a rabid Islamist banned in many countries. He's a terror sympathizer. But this is yet another red flag that makes one ask the question that should the interim advisor of Bangladesh be making such permanent changes to the country's social, economic and legal framework? Or instead, he should be focusing on elections, with many asking that has he already not overstayed his stay in office? Well, viewers, let's now get you the other story we are tracking, which is what's happening in China. While the world's cameras flashed and the headlines gushed over that picture-perfect handshake between Xi Jinping and Donald Trump, a very different drama was unfolding, not in Seoul or Washington, but deep inside the guarded powers and power chambers of Beijing. And what really happened? Well, there was history being rewritten, as many in China feel. Because Beijing is trying to alter the global power under the banner of the 4th plenum, one of the most consequential meetings that have taken place in China, and we reveal to you just how it unfolded. Now let's get you those details. First and foremost, the 4th plenum took place just days before Xi Jinping smiled for the cameras with Trump in Busan. His party brass in Beijing hardened their doctrine. It was a call for arms. It was a call to arms for technological dominance. Now, what really happened as far as technology is concerned? Xi Jinping didn't come to talk just tariffs with Donald Trump. He actually came, when he failed, to buy time, to out-invent, outproduce the West in the very technologies that define tomorrow. And to get that time period going is what Xi Jinping tried to do at the meeting. Made in China 2025 is a doctrine that really defines Xi Jinping and how he views China. And in his grand plan, every chip, circuit and satellite must be made in China. You can't get there overnight. What do? You try and negotiate with Donald Trump on several other aspects of discussions and find the enough window of time to be able to do that. Next, what followed, many feel, is that Chinese industries, funds and even research labs are now being rewired for that one goal, which is that there should be complete independence from the American system. Which is why, viewers, the October 20 to 23rd plenum had a warning as far as China's elite is concerned. And that was very clear, which was age of cooperation has now made for an era of confrontation and no compromise. As far as Donald Trump is concerned, it looked perfect as far as those photos are concerned, but many feel American negotiators were talking truce at a time when Beijing is actually talking about techno-military supremacy, something that few in Washington are disagreeing that China is working towards. Now, where does this put India in the middle of all of this? India is a democracy, markets are thriving, moral compass dictates and could actually dictate the Indo-Pacific. Also, India now is having its own technological push, whether it is semiconductors, whether it is the supply chains of technology, where India feels it not only needs to make an important dent, it needs to China-proof them. And I think that is something that is likely to make a major role as far as what happens going forward in terms of the China-US tech race. Well, viewers, shifting focus, the next time you see that handshake, do remember, in the corridors of global power, diplomacy is often a mask and silence roars louder than even the most thunderous applause. At APEC 2025, the world blinked, but China didn't, and that needs to be kept in mind. And finally, let's go to Sriharikota, where the sky awaits viewers, silent but alive with promise. In a few heartbeats, India's most powerful rocket, the LV-M3M5, will thunder into history, and with it, the nation's heaviest communication satellite, the CMS-03. It's a story of how far we've come and how high we're meant to rise. This report tells you why.
At the Satish Dhawan Space Center, the LV-M3M5 stands poised, 43.5 meters of precision and power, a towering marvel forged from Indian ingenuity. The twin solid boosters roar first. The thunder splits the silence of the eastern coast. The liquid core takes the baton, pushing through clouds and gravity alike. And then the cryogenic stage carries a billion dreams, a billion aspirations into the stars. In those moments, a billion hopes rise from this soil and leave the earth behind. On board CMS-03, there's a 4.4-ton powerhouse of connectivity. It is ready to link oceans, islands, and every Indian heartbeat that beats beneath the sky. Be it Chandrayaan-3's footprints on the moon, and now LV-M3M5's flight to the stars. This is ISRO's story and India's spirit. Unshaken, unyielding, unstoppable. Each countdown is a prayer, each ignition a promise that India will never stop ascending.
Dear viewers, as the flames of LV-M3M5 cut across the night, they light up the story of a billion dreams. Because when India reaches for the stars, the world looks up in wonder. It's a moment in our journey to eternity, and we are proud to share it with you. Viewers, you're watching India Sense. Until next time, keep looking up.
Don't let gaps in your travel insurance spoil your holiday. Go without the doubt. Insure and go. Call 0800 198 0198.
No child should suffer the torture of trachoma. But so many are in pain right now. Nananga's lashes have turned inwards. They rip and tear away at his eyes. Pomelo's sight could be gone forever. He's just 3 years old. Kofanga screams for his mother. His eyes are so infected that he can't even see her. For so many children in the world's poorest countries, trachoma is torture. It's a painful infection often spread by flies, and it's destroying children's eyesight. But it could be stopped if you help today. By calling 0800 038 4926 and giving £1 a week to Sightsavers. you can help make sure children get the treatment they desperately need. You'll help us bring them the medicines and the care that can treat infections. And that means you'll be helping to save children from the torture of trachoma and a life of blindness. Please help us reach them. Call 0800 038 4926. Text C13 to 82727 or go online and give just £1 a week now. Because we need you to help save the sight of children like Nananga. We need you to help save them from the torture of trachoma.
AutoSerge automatically checks for ways to save on your car or home insurance. It compares the market app, the simplest way to save.
With Post Office Over 50s life cover, enjoy peace of mind knowing your family will receive a guaranteed payout when you're gone. UK resident 50 to 80, your guaranteed acceptance. No health checks and from just £1.15 a week. Plus free 24/7 GP access with the health and wellbeing benefit. Purchase and receive a £125 gift card for amazon.co.uk, Tesco or M&S. Call Post Office on 0800 171 2211.
Tina's smart. She uses Wise to send and spend money overseas. Tina's gone. Whether she's sending money overseas or paying with the Wise travel card abroad, she could save up to 70% compared to using major banks. Join Tina and 14 million people worldwide who found a smart way to send and spend money overseas. Be smart. Get Wise.
Check your eligibility for a credit card without affecting your credit score and feel ocean confident. Check today at ocean.co.uk.
Time to go to sleep now.
I can't sleep without Bunny.
Where is Bunny?
Downstairs with Grandma.
Is he? I'll better go and get him then, hadn't I?
For 50 years, Stana has been helping people continue to enjoy life upstairs. And with stair lifts fitted in less than a day, you can carry on just as normal.
But Bunny can't sleep without Teddy.
Contact Stana now. Stana, enjoy the life upstairs.
Searching for the brightest Black Friday deals? Then look no further, because at Tesco Mobile, you'll get the awesome Samsung Galaxy A36 with 6 gigs of data and the Tab A11, all for just £23.99 a month with club card prices, saving you £252. Better yet, those prices are frozen for the length of your contract. Plus, you'll get club card points on every bill. It pays to be connected. Search Tesco Mobile. Every little helps.
Whether you're setting up a new nest, starting your own flock, or they just keep on growing, get more time to pay with VeryPay. You can buy now and pay up to 12 months later. And pay no interest, with nothing to pay at checkout. And you can easily keep track of payments in the Very app. More time to pay with VeryPay.
I'm going to take a look at the back of your eye.
You can keep your eyes nice and wide. You'll be registered as sight impaired.
I help you.
When they diagnosed Remy, I remember asking, how am I going to create a life for her that she deserves?
I was just telling everybody else I was okay, and I just didn't know how to cope with it.
Initially, I felt really lost.
So if you...
That's when I contacted the RNIB.
Thank you, sir.
More than ever, I just feel seen and heard as a visually impaired person.
Remy deserves to do the same things as all the other children.
Sometimes you just need someone to guide you through it all.
Losing your sight shouldn't mean losing out on life. Leave a gift in your will to RNIB and help people with sight loss live the lives they want. Call 0800 8100 660 or search RNIB Will Guide.
Hello everybody, you're watching NDTV and this is the Southern View. A week to go for Bihar to vote. The campaign is hot. The manifestos are out and more importantly, the war of words over welfare, jungle raj, who wants to build Bihar, who wants to destroy Bihar goes on. In the midst of all of this, NDTV brings you Power Play Bihar Conclave tomorrow. That will have all the important voices that you need to hear on Bihar. My colleague and co-host Veera Raghav is in Patna tracking the latest. Veera, over to you. Tell us what is the situation on ground there and how important is this Power Play Bihar?
Well, the politics is heating up, but Patna has cooled down. Fantastic weather here, Vasudha. Rains, but rains have disrupted a lot of the campaign today. A lot of disruptions there. Of course, we'll have the Home Minister, we'll have all the top faces from the RJD, from the Congress, from the Jan Swaraj, Prashant Kishore, all of them at the Power Play NDTV conclave here in Bihar. So watch out for all the action on Bihar and all the incisive conversations tomorrow. That's the key focus at the moment for NDTV.
That's right.
The battle for Bihar is on. Bihar on a turning pitch, or captain stays the same. NDTV hosts the biggest pre-poll event. Bihar's warriors, challengers and biggest faces live. NDTV Power Play Bihar. Unmissable in Patna, November 1st.
The stage is set for NDTV Power Play, all set to happen tomorrow. But first, let's take you through the headlines. While addressing the Arya Mahasammelan in Delhi today, Prime Minister Modi hailed President Draupadi Murmu's sortie with squadron leader Shivangi Singh, the same pilot that Pakistan had claimed to capture. There's a big update from the politics of Tamil Nadu. After joining hands with rebel leaders, EPS has now expelled Sengotian from the AIDMK. This comes after Sengotian had repeatedly challenged the authority of Edappadi Palanicham. DMK versus BJP erupts over Prime Minister's comments on Bihar, and this is all happening in Tamil Nadu. Prime Minister Modi has accused DMK of abusing Biharis. DMK says people from Bihar are safe in Tamil Nadu. Well, the NDA's manifesto for Bihar makes bold promises. It was released today, and these promises include 1 crore government jobs and also 1 crore Lakpati Didis, which means women earning 1 lakh annually through self-help groups. These pledges are designed to appeal to youth and women, 2 key voter blocks. And the manifesto also includes commitments to infrastructure development, skill training and expanding welfare schemes, clearly making industry, investment and employment the key priorities of the NDA, the ruling coalition. When it comes to jobs, remember Tejasvi Yadav's RJD has also pledged 1 government job per household. Remember, this is the India blocks, this is the Mahagathbandhan coming together for its Tejasvi Pran for Bihar. It's a promise that raises serious questions about feasibility given the state's limited employment capacity and also fiscal constraints. But remember, both sides are making these promises. Who really has the blueprint to make Bihar financially stronger? Remember, the state depends a lot on remittances and also central funds. Veera has the numbers too. Veera, what do you think?
Well, look, fiscal deficit is a huge concern for Bihar. It's been growing well past the 4% of GDP that's mandated by the Fiscal Management Act. So that's a real concern. But who cares about fiscal realities, Vasudha? At the moment, it's just a time to make promises to get votes. But how much does a manifesto really matter? Remember, the NDA trying to send a matter of optics with all of them.